The second wave of COVID-19 is spreading like wildfire across the country, or probably even faster. Each day, we see a record surge in the number of daily COVID-19 cases. But amidst this depressing situation, there is some hope. There is still time for us to mend our ways. And there is a way we can avoid contracting the infection. If 229 villages in Pune can go COVID-free, so can the rest of the country. So, what is this story? What can we learn from it? And what's the story behind achieving a feat that is quite literally next to impossible? I'll tell you all this and more in this special video. You're watching TV9 News and I'm your host Deepak. It is a story of hope, a story that will remind us every single day about our complacent attitude towards COVID-19. But there is still time for us to mend our ways, and this story that I will tell you today is about 229 villages in Pune that has remained uninfected by COVID-19 since the inception of the outbreak in March 2020. And to do so in a state which is the epicenter of cases is quite literally unimaginable. The secret behind their success story has been COVID-appropriate behavior and quarantine measures implemented by them. Now, to give you an idea, there are about 1,405 villages under the Pune Zilla Parishad, out of which 229 have been able to successfully live a pandemic-free life, although there have been outbreaks in the nearby villages. The population of these villages is a little over 13% of the 5.2 million rural Pune population. So, how did they manage to do this? The villages have been very successful in detecting patients with severe acute respiratory disorder and influenza-like illnesses, while also penalizing violators of COVID-19 protocols. However, there are few questions surrounding the story of this particular village in Pune, and to answer these questions, we have with us Mr. Ayush Prasad, the CEO of Pune Zilla Parishad. So, Mr. Ayush, please tell us how it was possible for the 229 villages to be COVID-free up until now.
In these 229 villages, there's a rough population of 6 to 7 lakhs. These villages are not an interior village. Pune districts, each village is connected by road. Most of them have a public transport bus that connects. Farmers from these villages go to the city and towns to sell their produce, and they also access markets, and there are weekly markets. A lot of migrations from these areas have also gone to the cities of Pune and Mumbai. But in spite of all of these, in spite of so many movements, these 229 villages are corona-free. These villages have participated in the activities to prevent corona. Every day, hundreds of people in these villages are fined for not using masks. In these villages, we also find that there are several door-to-door surveys. Whenever there is a person who is showing any symptoms of cough or cold, that person is tested. And in spite of all of that, these villages are showing lack of COVID for the last 13 months.
How much of inflow and outflow of visitors from hotspots have been to this village, and what is done with these visitors?
In rural areas of Pune, we have made a rule that whenever a person comes from an outside place, which may be a COVID hotspot, that person is to be quarantined. At the height of the COVID pandemic in the first wave, 639 such quarantine centers were running in these villages, and roughly 1.54 lakh people were in these quarantine centers. So, people who are doing transportation of goods or visiting the city for work, those people are expected to wear masks and even maintain social distancing within their houses.
Do people wear masks in the village? What are the precautions followed by the people in these 229 villages?
People in these villages are expected to wear masks at all times. They are expected to maintain social distancing. They are expected to adhere to all the rules that have been set by Government of India and Government of Maharashtra with regard to prevention of an outbreak of COVID. All necessary precautions are being taken. Masks are worn. There is use of sanitizers. Free sanitizers have also been distributed in these villages. And the efforts are constantly being taken to screen large number of people so that even if one person accidentally becomes COVID positive, rest of the village, local transmission in the village can be prevented.
Why do you think the villages have been protected from COVID-19? Are the tests being done to detect any sign of the pathogen?
All villagers are screened in a cycle of 5 days. Whenever a person reports any form of cold flu symptoms or a loss of taste or any other minor symptoms of COVID, that person is immediately tested using RT-PCR testing. But all of these testing and all of that has resulted because of the precaution and the social vaccine, that is the determination of the village to keep COVID at bay. These villages are free of corona even today.
Now, lastly, Mr. Ayush Prasad, what's your message to the people of the country given the kind of situation that is transpiring?
These villages are giving a message to the rest of the country and also for the people of the world that if we behave with regard to COVID appropriate behavior, if we take necessary precautions, no region in the world can be made free from the COVID pandemic. And we as a social vaccine, if we become a social vaccine, we can definitely prevent the spread of corona and one day make a corona-free world.
At a time like this, all we can do is wear a mask like it's a Kevlar shielding you. Use hand sanitizers like a weapon against COVID-19 and maintain a safe distance to keep our loved ones even closer and also safer. Another important message is do not ignore vaccination if you fall under the eligible bracket as per the COVID-19 vaccination rules, and do drop in your messages in the comment section below, because at a time like this, we are our own motivation. Also, do not forget to like and share this video with your family and friends while also subscribing to TV9 News for more of such content. Thank you for watching and have a great day.